Okay, we have a kiln opening this morning. I have not looked in this kiln. I don't think there's anything in here that I have documented, actually glazing, but I am going to try to tell you as much as I can about the pieces that come out as they come out. And I have no idea what's going to be in here, so lots of shiny stuff. Oh, this one is interesting. Uh-oh, I can see where I had some glaze jumped off. I don't know how it does that, but it does that. I may have to get some gloves here. Look at that one. That is actually honey flux, top and bottom. And I put down iron luster. See that? And then I put oatmeal over the top of it on that band. And then I put just a little bit of ancient jasper in a really thin line going around on top of the oatmeal. And we got some really cool colors there. You can see that, my little light green. It's kind of glaring on us. But there we go. We've got a lot of mugs in here. Here's an example of honey flux with textured turquoise. 3 layers of each. 3 layers of honey flux that went down first. This is on porcelain. You can see that white clay. This is honey flux times 3, and then textured turquoise times 3. And this really cool organic porcelain vase. Oh, isn't that something? Look at the feet on that baby. Boy, it ran right down to the kiln shelf and then stopped. And that's that. You've seen me pull this out before. This is stuff I get mixed at a local shop. It's just a real ancient looking blue-gray color. Pretty neat. Look at that, it drips. All right, we've got some mugs. I know this is just this was 2 layers of textured turquoise, 3 layers of blue ratile, and then at the very top, you can see I put some smoky merlot. This is just a tried and true combination that it comes out beautiful every time. If you want a nice mug that breaks on edges and texture, do textured turquoise and blue ratile, and then throw in a little smoky merlot if you want to get a red tint on that. It's one of my Arkansas mugs that I do. Really not sure on this one. There's got to be some seaweed in this one. I believe what I did up here, this was honey flux, or because of the color, this was honeydew flux glaze, and it wasn't real thick in here, and so that's why it kind of broke that way. And then I did a wasabi with seaweed on top of it. And it gets you a really nice little run there. It's a pretty mug. Here's our iron luster and honey flux. Again, you put the honey flux down, put this on top of it, make some rings of iron luster, and then cover it all in iron luster. And you really get this nice break, nice little waves. Look at that, we even pulled some pink out of that. It's a gorgeous little Ride Arkansas mug. Okay. This is indigo blue, and it's pretty much indigo blue by itself. It kind of broke there. A neighboring town, Rogers, Arkansas, their school colors on one of the high schools is almost a real indigo blue, and so I make these mugs over there, and yeah, people like those, real pretty. Here's some more of these really cute mugs that my wife does. Check that out. Look at these little flowers. It turned out really cool. She's standing here helping me today. Those are just gorgeous. I love this. Looks like hyacinth right there. That's really neat. And here's another one of her geometric designs. This is Coyote Really Red and Red Orange. And then of course this was just bare clay when the tape was taken off with a little peace sign in it. A little kind of a pyramid type shape on those mugs. Got a good cone 6 on that. That turned out really well. I have some stuff in here. Oh my gosh. I actually recreated something I did before, and I love that. It's one of my favorite bowls. I use it in the house. And it looks almost exactly like it.
It does.
This is textured turquoise and blue rateel. I put Albany slip brown around the edges, like that, and then I put oatmeal over the top of it, and I think I put just a bead of iron luster on it, which really didn't seem to change it much, but it gives you a great little, get that out of the light so it doesn't glare so much. Really pretty. All right, and this is tourmaline. One of, I don't know how that happened. Do you see that? And tourmaline has actually jumped off of the mug and left spots. Were these bare?
Yeah.
This was bare, and somehow the tourmaline ran up into the dot. Now, somebody can tell me, were these?
Yeah.
It was like this, okay. And then these spread out is what happened on you. I like this. That just really got away from you right there, didn't it? Yeah. But that's still, that's a really cool mug. I like that. Now this is something that she does, I don't do, but she'll run a little piece of automotive tape around it and get this really nice bead so it doesn't stick to a kiln shelf. That's a really neat idea. It gives you a really cool look with the mug. It's got a little base. It's cool. Yep. There's our cone 6 on the second shelf. I have an experiment on the bottom. I'm anxious to see it, but I'm also scared to see it. Keep my fingers crossed here. Oh my goodness. All right, I'm gonna leave it for last, but it's gorgeous. Here's a little scrambled egg mixing bowl. This is just straight honey flux. All right, this is straight river birch. River birch on a buff clay. So only the speckles are from the glaze. And those are just really neat for mixing little things like, say, scrambled eggs and whatnot. That's pretty. Comes out with some pinks. If you can see that, it really gives you some pinks in there. I've had that happen before with river birch. Real neat little reds into it. Just a little Japanese tea bowl kind of look that I made. It looks like my glaze was a little thin, but this is a lot of flux glaze. I mixed some flux glazes. Once again, I did a mix that I talked about there's a large bowl video, if you'll go watch it, that had honey flux, river birch, and honeydew flux glaze, and I poured them all together and just poured them in. And I had some left over, and I brushed it on. Brushing it on, it didn't go well, or it just gave you a different look. It's thin, but it's nice. Very food safe look here and all. That's cool. I've got one more. If you've never used it, this came out a little really boring and brown. Looks like we didn't quite get to cone 6 on the very bottom shelf. That is matcha matte from Amaco. And that's just underwhelming, to say the least. Pretty flat, brown, boring. I've seen it turn out much better than this. I'm not sure why. Maybe we just didn't get quite up to temp on it. And I've done a couple of little mugs. I was doing these large belly mugs, and I thought, what if I went from a pound and took these down to 12 ounces? And I love these. I've loved the shape, but now I've got 2 of these. Obviously this is iron luster with oatmeal on top. And that's a nice little set. Of course, you get all that color. Trying to get it where you can see all that different colors, and it breaks real pretty. All right. This is a big old bowl. Look at that. And I'm not going to share this with anybody but right here on my channel, but what I did with this is I actually took honeydew, river birch, honey flux, and I threw in a little bit of wasabi. I did 20% of the 3 flux glazes. I did 10% wasabi, and I did 10% of iron luster. And I poured it all in a jar, mixed it up, shook it up real good, and then just poured it in here. And that's what came out. There it is. Go make some for yourself. Thanks for watching. I hope these videos are informational and helpful to you. Enjoy making functional pottery.